Hello, Chad. I don't think anyone's in yet, but hello to anyone that watches this on YouTube in the future. Just gonna turn the music down a little bit. So today is gonna be a bonus stream. Doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna be designing some new characters, or attempting to. Possibly with suggestion from chat, and with a little bit of generation going in there to kind of get some ideas flowing. And then I'm going to be talking kind of a little bit about my design process, how I go about making characters, and how I go about drawing new characters. Because everything I've done on stream so far has been existing characters. So that's kind of on the agenda for today, because I feel like doing a bonus stream. But that's sort of what we're going to be doing. So let me kind of take it over to my canvas real quick. Alrighty, let me lock my thing so I don't move around. So my friends are making new D&D characters. So I said, well, I can't let you have all the fun. So I need to make some new characters. I have some ideas. I have an idea, for one. And then there's possibility for one other one. But other than that, just sort of doing some exercise work, just sort of get my brain going, get my drawing going. I'll probably do some generation and some suggestions from chat if I get any. I'm like just waiting to see if anyone pops in right at the beginning. But if not, I'll just vibe by myself. Music suggestions are off currently for this stream, just because I want to make sure that when I post this to YouTube, I don't have to mute myself for anything, so that if I'm talking about something about my design process, YouTube doesn't mute it because of the music that was playing in the background. So, got some different stuff going on right now than my usual chill playlist. Maybe a little bit more upbeat, get the creative juices flowing. I also have... Here, look, I'm down here now. Actually, maybe I can even make myself a little bit bigger. 1 second. Okay. I also have some generation tools up. And then I also have my D&D Beyond up, so that I can look at classes and look at races. And they don't technically have to be D&D characters that I make today, but I think that it just creates, having a class and a race and like backgrounds helps me make characters, and whether those translate into characters that aren't actually D&D characters or they translate into NPCs and things like that. It just helps me kind of organize everything in my mind. So I like using it, even if I don't end up making them into a D&D character in the end. But it's also fun. It's nice to plan builds and things like that. Or at least I find that fun. So I have some of these generators. Now, something to say about this generator here. So I use this for this information down here, because I don't use it for the art. Now, they kindly provide a character art source. So, for example, we have the source here. But I'm going to turn the music down a little bit because it's hard to focus while I'm talking. just for now. But just because they provide the source doesn't mean that the artist approved of having their art used. So I don't want to focus too much on the art. I'm more interested in the information down here that they give to kind of come up with ideas for. I should see actually if I have. I guess I can flip that to either, because that gives me more information. Plain text could work, because then we don't have to show someone's art, and that won't influence what I draw. But, so that's one way that we can do this. And then the other way is essentially just writing down some things that I was interested in doing anyway, and then rolling to see what kind of fun combinations we get. So, for example, like, if I knew I was interested in, like, just stabilization, I don't need you one. If I was interested in, like, barbarian, sorcerer, wizard, monk, and say that's like all I can think of. I should switch over. So let me kind of show what I mean while I talk. So like if I only care about like these 4 classes, like that's fine. And then it's like maybe I'm interested in maybe a hobgoblin or a regular goblin or a bugbear. Always like tieflings. Sure, like a genasi. And just throw in a standard human. You know. And I could do this on and on and on and on. I could add backgrounds, etc., etc. And then I just translate these to dice rolls. You know, you've seen these things. So, like, you know, this would be a D4, because I have 4 classes. This would be a D6, because I have 6 races, or ancestries, origins to choose from. You know, then I have my dice here. So if I roll, say, a D4 and a D6 in my little dice tray here. I would love to get a second camera for a dice tray camera. That would be very fun. But anyway. 2 and 3. Then that gives us sorcerer, bugbear. That's actually kind of fun. So I'll write that down here. I'll write it on its own there. I played a bugbear wizard before for a holiday one-shot. And I'm going to throw in, because there's something that I really, really want to do, which is I really want to do something with the Path of the Beast Barbarian. So, and I was thinking a small race, because I like small barbarians, so I was thinking either a goblin, because it's been a while since I made another goblin, or like a goblin shifter. Shifter's one of those races or origins where it's like, you know, oh, they're kind of like always half human, and it's like, well, a shifter should be able to be based on any other origin. So like a goblin or a goblin shifter, and it's like you just use the stats of shifter and just maybe make the height a little bit smaller, and I don't really see any reason why that's not something that we can't do. So that was the idea that I went into this wanting to do something for. A Sorcerer Bugbear is kind of fun though, just for a little random generation. And I can always use more fighters and paladins and such, big armored people. Another thing to note that I know that I want to do is I like focusing on new subclasses, because I haven't made any. So ones that I know I was interested in were like, let's see, Peace Cleric, I want to have an existing character switch to Twilight, so I'll skip Twilight, but Mercy Monk I was very interested in, and Psy Knight, and honestly Rune Knight. Because I like both. And then we can generate some stuff from there. But so these are just sort of, you know, so I have a couple different generation methods. I have a couple ideas that I was going into this with. I'm sorry, I'm like circling all awkward. I came in with this idea, and I know I want this kind of focus. And we've got Sorcerer Bugbear, which I just generated right now, which I thought was fun and interesting. And I can kind of combine this with a focus on new subclasses. So maybe we do either an Aberrant Mind Bugbear or a Clockwork Soul for that Bugbear Sorcerer. That could be really interesting. You could come up with an interesting character from that. You throw in a background and bing, bang, boom, you're done. So I'm going to kind of save all of this. And we're going to take this idea, which I came into today with. I'll turn these off. I'm going to just keep this here. So now we're going to get a little bit into my design process. So I'm going to keep this here, and I'm going to try and just think about what sort of things we can do that keep this feeling fresh and keep this feeling original and something that's fun, something that's, you know, what tropes can we use and what tropes can we subvert to make something that's really fun. So what I always like to do at the next stage is I take some of the elements of the character, such as the origin, say Goblin, the class Barbarian, and I think about what things are tropes or stereotypes for that character and what we can subvert narratively that doesn't necessarily hurt us mechanically, because a character that's mechanically flawed can be narratively interesting, but I think that it all works better if you have a good narrative and good mechanics without having to necessarily sacrifice anything besides giving them flaws and things like that. They shouldn't be good at everything. But so let's see. For barbarians, some of the stereotype that I think of with a barbarian as a class, we're very strong, normally not too smart, just stereotypes we're talking about here. They have rage, so, you know. Now, I don't like to necessarily imply that rage is just aggression, because we don't want to necessarily just... We don't want to conflate not being too smart, aggressive. It's a slippery slope, so we want to try and avoid some of those stereotypes that may be harmful. So we're just going to put rage here, because every barbarian, no matter what, that is the core of the class mechanically, is their rage. And then we can explore, what does rage look like for this barbarian? Now, there's a little bit of that with the fact that this would be Path of the Beast. So that talks about, like, releasing their inner beast, whether it's actually like a physical beast spirit or a bestial power, or just tapping into a raw bestial nature. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean a feral nature or anything like that. It's just focusing in on either maybe like a hunter instinct or anything like that. So that's something that we can return to. Another thing with barbarians, I feel, is that they are normally outside society. And I'm going to put society in quotes here. Because they can have their own communities, but I feel like the barbarian normally feels out of place in the big city, right? You know, they always kind of say, if you're doing like a city campaign, a barbarian might not be the best to play, just because they lack any abilities that mechanically help them in social situations. That doesn't mean that you can't roleplay a really interesting barbarian in a city setting. It just means that the class doesn't give you anything that supports that playstyle. Most of their abilities are combat focused. So we'll also put big combatant. And that's kind of, you know, we understand a little bit about at least how barbarians, their mechanics, how they kind of influence the barbarian stereotype. None of these are something that we have to necessarily conform to, but it helps to identify the character as what they are mechanically when we touch on some of these traits. I would say, like, particularly very strong, you know, when you see a really big, muscular person that maybe has, like, a two-handed great axe, you start to kind of work, you know, they're probably not a wizard. And that's just sort of association, which helps make the character identifiable. Let's move on to Goblin. Now, the thing is, Goblin has some... The stereotypes that have been placed on goblins, both visually and in how they act, have some harmful... They can have some harmful connotations to real-world peoples. So those are things that we don't necessarily want to reinforce. But so, with that in mind, my goblins, or at least goblins that I made before in my world, are, at the very least, they are community-focused. They are small in stature. So they have this kind of, like, and that taps right into their Fury of the Small ability. They are stronger together than they are as individuals, normally. But see how we can take very strong from Barbarian. And we can use that to kind of start subverting tropes and makes a more interesting character. Maybe this is a goblin that is strong on their own because of just who they are as a character. And that makes them a little bit more interesting. They're a little bit more different. They can still be community focused. They can still care about the people around them and feel that they are stronger together, but they can also stand apart. That's something that's very important. Things that we want to try and avoid, things that I feel are harmful in their portrayal, would be things like demure or groveling or money focused or greedy. That one's actually pretty... The connotations are very harmful. I should put... and there's a lot of writing about how goblins try to subject others. And then comparisons to them being feral, animalistic vermin. All of these can be pretty harmful, especially when we think about the history of goblins and how they've related to real-world people. So these are things that we want to avoid. But so you're probably wondering, well, we have feral, animalistic, or being seen as vermin, and we're playing a Path of the Beast barbarian, at least in this scenario. So how do we balance a bestial soul and animalistic fury with not wanting to associate this origin, this people, with that sort of connotation? Well, first off, it's always good to specify they're not every individual behaves the same way. They are diverse people. They are able to come in a variety of forms. That's always first and foremost. But so think about it. If we don't associate that kind of nature with being bad, wrong, evil, any of these things, if we don't associate it with that, then we're taking away something that can be interpreted in a harmful way. What we want is that having access to this power, tapping into this bestial spirit, is seen as good, possibly even something that is sought after, because it may be something that's seen in their community as something that they want to achieve, to kind of get to maybe a what they feel is a better form of self. It could be meditative. It could be more derived in the way that, say, a druid sees wild shape. It's studying the world around them and participating in that cycle of the world and recognizing that they are much like the animals that they hunt or use for tilling their land, etc., etc., etc. All of that in mind, let's say we have a goblin, Path of the Beast, barbarian. We use aspects of goblin stereotypes and barbarian stereotypes, and we have them conflict with each other to make something that's a little bit more subversion of tropes. So goblins, instead of necessarily having a hard time standing on their own, this goblin is strong alone. Maybe even a leader. In which case a leader would mean actually that they have maybe a positive charisma. Charisma is often very easily a dump stat along with intelligence on barbarians because they just need to hit stuff. They don't need to be charismatic. They don't need to be smart. So what if, because this goblin is strong, because this goblin has this ability that is sought after by their people, they see that goblin as a leader, as someone that they can look to for guidance. So we get a charismatic barbarian, maybe even an intelligent barbarian. And when I think intelligence, I think, and I think of a good leader, I think of someone, it could be wisdom or intelligence, honestly, because there are different ways to learn. But when I think of that, I think about maybe an older character. I've survived long enough, I've gotten the experience to be able to know how to lead these people, and I've got the experience to be able to explain why I have these abilities, why I'm so good at fighting, why I'm strong alone. So, because often I feel like goblins are infantilized, and that's also can be harmful. So why don't we make an older goblin? A goblin that has survived past what most goblins tend to surpass, and so has been able to achieve this level of experience and achieve this level of leadership. So that's going to not only give us reasons for how they act, what they know, but also can explain why maybe they're a little bit higher level, because you need to be at least level 3 to have access to the subclass. So maybe we say that they're like level 5. We'll just keep that in the back of our mind. So we have an old, strong leader goblin, barbarian, and now we have some of these things that contribute to subverting the tropes while also reinforcing some others with barbarian. They are strong, but this goblin appears small. So that kind of subverts the trope. This isn't some big hulking figure. This is something that's small. Maybe it's small and fast and aggressive, and there is a strength behind that. But it's not necessarily a big brute swinging a hammer. This is a strong predator style barbarian, which I think is going to work really, really great with Path of the Beast. And then there's also the fact that this barbarian may not be stupid. They may have high intelligence or wisdom, and they probably have at least some high charisma. And they're not necessarily in their prime, maybe. They've lived a little bit, so they're old. I think all of that combined now is where I get to start the fun part of designing. So that was a lot of talking. Let's do a little bit of designing. So my designs, now that I know a little bit about this character, I approach it in different ways. Sometimes I just sketch. I go right to sketching. I just try and capture like a mood. Sometimes I do some silhouettes. So maybe I'll do some silhouettes. Maybe I'll do some silhouettes with my lasso tool. So something I like with goblins is the big ears. So not taking my big ears away from me. Now, strong would connote a certain kind of body type, which we can work with. We can at least see, because these are silhouettes that go fairly quickly. We could, you know, go with this sort of top-heavy. You know, this isn't This is very basic, but, you know, these are things that we can at least consider and then see how we can evolve that. So we also know, like, they're old, so maybe they're a little bit more hunched. So, you know. You know, maybe they kind of weigh on their experience a little bit. An old lion. This could be just they're so used to maybe like running on all fours that they have a natural hunch to them. We don't know. Also, typically my goblins have tails already. So I mean, we've got this kind of like Chad goblin, but we're gonna work through it a little bit. Because I don't necessarily know if top heavy is where we necessarily need to go with this. I like the big ears. I possibly like the idea of tail. I mentioned old lion before, and that got me thinking of incorporating some sort of like mane into this. So like something like, you know, a lot of furs. And maybe we go, not necessarily lithe, but we don't necessarily do the big muscles per se. We just got this kind of nice big mane. You know, maybe they have a hood or something along those lines. Maybe they have the like paws of a creature as like gloves. So they have these like blades almost of like, I think like a saber-toothed tiger or something, you know. Kind of like Predator style. You know, and like now we're getting something that's a little bit interesting. And you know, we can change this silhouette with hair. But we got like those big ears. I like the idea of like the mane. So this is kind of getting somewhere. Maybe I like do a little bit of sketching on top of this just to kind of you know, this is someone that's a little bit more grizzled. They're old, they're wrinkly. maybe like the ears droop a little bit because you got that age. I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking out loud. Some like wild hair. Or maybe, I don't know. I feel like I don't see goblins with like curly hair. That can be kind of funny. Or it's like, maybe it's like shaved. And then there's just this like pom-pom of hair. I don't know. Got that big mane. Think about the body underneath. Maybe try and get a little bit of that. This goblin has been around for a while, so is a little bit like more ornamented. I don't know. And maybe like no sleeves. It's just the mane. And then these like gauntlets. With the claws. And then we have I don't know. We just do what seems fun. I don't know how big this mane is, because we don't want it to necessarily get lost. Or we don't want his ears to necessarily get lost, is what I mean. Gotta have scars. And I mean, these aren't, I'm not trying to make these super duper detailed, because, you know. Not enough goblins with facial hair either, so like maybe. Well. Sometimes I like doing the top heavy and skinny legs. I don't know. That's just personal preference. There's also the fact that we should think about what animals we could pull from. I mean, I think there's some good ideas here, but that's just like one iteration. There was also possibly, maybe he's not gruff from his experience. Maybe he's kind of a little bit more lax. He's fought. I see almost, we've got this like, hold on. Still old, but just kind of a little bit more. Got the whiskers. Just sort of a little bit resting on his laurels a little bit more. Some like big sideburns. Maybe not that long. Maybe still the curly hair. Just sort of a like, oh, you really think, huh? Just this old goblin that just never died. Just sitting on his porch. I don't know. I just like thinking out loud. Maybe he's, he's the leader. Maybe he's got like little crown, some scars. I don't know. I kind of like that idea. He's a little bit more actually laid back. I like kind of the tired, really chill. Almost kind of gives the illusion that he doesn't know what he's doing. But if you try him, oh, if you try him, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. something like that could be kind of fun. Just this older, because, you know, goblins. You don't think about them being experienced enough to be able to be a threat. Stereotypically speaking, at least. Crow's feet. So you can see the idea slowly starts to evolve. Maybe it's also even like, you know, wait, this is the guy that has all the power, this is the leader, and, you know, he's so laid back, he's so goofy. No, it can't be him. But it is. And you keep the scars there as sort of a reminder. You know, nah, this guy fights. Because I actually, when I was thinking about animals, because you get claws, teeth, and a tail. And I was like, you know, most people are going to go for like a lion or a bear or a wolf, things like that. And I was thinking, like, what about like a scorpion or an armadillo? Something that's just small but deadly. I say armadillo because like I imagine like the big armadillo tail. And they have like digging claws, or maybe I'm thinking of pangolins, but like that that kind of group of animals. Just still thinking about hair. I'm gonna make another layer so that I can pretty fun. I like the big sideburns. I almost like just like a shaved head, but I feel like it needs something. Maybe like hair that comes up in two little poofs that sort of emulates beast ears. Did I just make Wolverine as a goblin? I may have just made Wolverine as a goblin. go like really big hair. Big, just... helps just kind of sell. I don't know. Hair is always something that I kind of go back and forth on for a while. Because I almost want a little bit more of that, like, sitting on your porch playing a banjo kind of vibe. But then also, there's just something about this, like, confident goblin king that interests me. We're coming up on an hour already, but we've got something going for us here. Because this is... we have the beginnings of a character here. And I like the big sideburns, but then possibly like the whiskers. Yeah, like this is fun. Let's get that big mane in there. Maybe it like goes onto the shoulders. Do you know how badly I want to just like give him a pompadour? Like, I hate that it almost works. Hairstyles always get me. Could do like the receding. I don't know. But now we've got like a better idea of what his silhouette wouldn't be like. Because if his ears are low, and he's got the big mane, he's got his little sideburns. He's kind of chill. So maybe it's like a high belt that kind of accentuates the waist. Flares out. Bare arms. Or hell, I mean, could be a little bit taller. Could have big thighs, I don't know. The idea is that he's keeping most of his strength under wraps. And I can fiddle back and forth like this for a while because I am inherently indecisive. I don't just sketch. I think a lot. But that's just my process. I'm fiddling now. I like this. I like what we have. Older goblin. Beast soul. I'm doing that on the hair. Pompadour. But then I just sort of, I go about and I refine, you know, and sometimes I will, I like using Symmetry Tool. It lets me sketch faster and I can see the character front on, and then I normally turn it off and kind of add some inconsistencies so that the character isn't fully symmetrical. But it just helps me sketch. So let's move down here for a second. See if we can get an idea of his proportions a little better. Hmm. I need to look at this a little bit wider. Sarah. I'm sorry I didn't see you. Yeah, we're just, trying to make a Goblin Barbarian. Interesting little... Maybe a hat. Maybe... I need something for the top of his head. That's what we're needing. Love you too. He needs that, like, strong, but honestly could just chill and be fine with it vibe. And having trouble getting that. But we're working on it. Got some ideas for his shapes. Actually, hold on. Before I move all that, I need to make sure that I grab his hair too, so that it moves with him. Just those tired eyes. They say to me, "Oh, you don't know what you're dealing with, but also, please, I just want to chill." Although I feel like I've lost a little bit of this in here. Some of that is just because of having things be symmetrical, but and the eyes being too big, that does it too. What is this song? The vibe of this song is interesting. Alarm going off. Big belt. Buckle. Big belt, that's... a skull. I don't know. I do just be kind of throwing ideas out there, seeing what sticks. Like, I have the idea of, like, this is actually just, like, a human shirt. So it's a big shirt, even though he's a big guy. So it would, like, come, it, like, cinching it. I don't know. Feel like it's not fun for the silhouette. I don't know. I forgot that I give my goblins 3 fingers. So this palm needs to change a little bit. Well, there's some fun ideas happening here. For sure. I mean, at this point, it's just about finding the right, it's just about finding the right silhouette shapes that are pleasing to me at this point. Doesn't... If he has a hat, it's got to be like a big old straw farmer's hat, and get the it's got to just be like literally a simple farmer's hat, because getting the chill vibe again. Because this is pretty hardcore of a design, but what I liked was the almost a farmer vibe. So because I don't know. I like the idea of a guy that can absolutely destroy me, but also will chew on a little bit of grass and play a banjo. But we've got something going. I like it. So let's pocket this for a hot second. These are fun. Ah, yes, all of his funny hairs. I'll put those in there. And some of these I will hold on to as well. We'll put those in there, just in case. Okay. I'm going to free draw for just kind of I've gotten warmed up a little bit. I'm going to slap on my symmetrical ruler, because I'm just going to see what sort of shapes come out. I still got goblins on the brain, so I'm just going to do a quick... I'm just gonna let some shapes happen. I have draw big syndrome. I'm constantly drawing too big. Oh, this is kind of cute. This is coming out kind of cute. This is cute. This is interesting. This is a fun one. I like the bunny ears. Interesting. Hmm. That's fun. Shapes. The mask is cute. Ear supremacy. I had an idea. What if... What if... Soul Knife, Psychic Rogue, doesn't know he's psychic, he's a little bit too much of a simp, and he also passes out whenever he's using his psychic powers, so... Has no idea. Absolutely none. Because I think that's hilarious. I didn't go into today planning to make a rogue, but I did say I was interested in the new Tasha's classes, and Soul Knife is one of them. So, I like that idea. Yeah, I like it. That's funny. I like the mask. No. He bare thigh in it. That's fun. And I'm not worried about making any big finished things. Just naming some of my layers, getting the things organized. This one can still be refined a little bit. Slowly just becoming a goblin stream, huh? I'm okay with that. Yeah, there's still potential here. Because that's very fun. I like this. Yeah. Fun. These are fun. Oh, hell yeah. That is approved. Well, apparently, it is just goblin time. I haven't had to use a generator or anything yet, which is fun. Two very different goblins also. This is why I like just starting with shapes. I don't know. We got something really cute, and then I kind of just went from there. What else could I make? I'm apparently just in a goblin mood, so maybe I'm just making a bunch of goblins, but I think there's the Bugbear Sorcerer, which I don't fully know what I want to do. A lot of the times I just kind of see the shapes, like I said before. I mean, I like the symmetry tool for that reason, because it's gonna help me see the whole character. Hello! Today I've been doing some talks about my design process and making new characters. Oh, you'll actually be very happy. Because I've worked on 2 new goblins, because I'm apparently in a goblin mood. We're doing some work on a goblin Path of the Beast Barbarian, which we're probably going to go with more like this look. We did a lot of talking about that. Refining the silhouette is where that stage is. And then I just started kind of playing with some shapes. And we've got this very, very cute Soul Knife Rogue who, when he uses his psychic powers, does not know that that is what's happening. Totally blacks out. So we've got that wonderful little goofball of a character as well, who is very, very cute. And that's kind of what we've been working on today. So, I'm also taking... I've been taking some I've rolled for a couple characters. So I rolled like a sorcerer bugbear. And I guess I was just kind of messing around with this, and then I was going to see how I can make it sorcery. But I'm taking suggestions from chat, and also if we want, we can just generate a random character, and then I'll try and draw it. So I have, I've got some browsers stuff here, like an NPC generator. I've got the character races, and stuff open. And then I've got these to generate a character, and then just see if we can, like, make something fun out of that. And then I just kind of talk about how I go through. So we did, like, some silhouette work. We did some playing on the symmetry tool, which I love to do just to kind of get some shape language going. Speaking of, I'm going to grab the bugbear art. Hopefully slap that on here. Just so I can take a look at them. But that's kind of what we're doing today. Just seeing what kind of fun characters I can make. Essentially. So if you have any suggestions, or if you want us to do like just a quick little generated character, we can always do something like that. So I'm noticing, excuse me, might elongate this head a bit. Just got some regular shapes on here, and now I'm gonna like add some character to it. So let's do like and I like that their ears are like and I was thinking that this could be one of the new sorcerers, so we could either do like a clockwork sorcerer or a psionic sorcerer. I don't want to copy the main art too much. Hold on. Soften those eyebrows a bit to make him... And then maybe braid his beard. I love Symmetry Tool because it just lets me get shapes pretty quickly. And then, like, I go in afterwards and sketch on top of it to get more unique shapes. So what I've noticed is much hairier. Especially down here in the legs. We basically get to just... It's kind of like Sully. And nothing says that a sorcerer can't have high strength, so he could still be pretty beefy if I end up feeling like it. And I like this sort of... No! What is this playlist sometimes? No! Jeez. Apparently my playlist just wants to be horny. I I mean, it's fine. My stream is listed as not being for kids, but jeez. I'm gonna see if I can do kind of like an armored robe. I like armor robes. And then... still gonna maybe try and thin out the legs. just making it vaguely sorcery for now, and then we can expand. You're right. Sorcerers are charisma, so we gotta cast. You're right. Can I just... I have to remember, the whole point of bugbears is they're long-limbed. So his proportions are going to be kind of interesting. Those legs will need more work in the future, but... And I'm just going to start transforming and changing his pose around. I feel like a bugbear sorcerer maybe has a sleeveless robe. Maybe. I'm realizing I'm still doing that on symmetry, so let's not do that. Don't like the hair. I suppose could be bald. But I'm thinking. Hmm. Too top knotty. Bugbear sorcerer with mohawk? I kind of like it, actually. I kind of really like it. Now if I just... Because I have draw too big syndrome. And we're gonna yank these legs. We're gonna yoink them. There's something I don't like about it. Maybe they just need to be a little longer. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Oh, that would be wonderful, yes. And then I can send you yours. Thank you. There's no judging. No judgment. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I could probably do with keeping the symmetry tool on for a little bit. It's just gonna make this go faster. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's got his one ear up, he's listening around. And he's got his ponytail. Oh, thank you so much. This is very cute. I am going to save this. Thank you so much. Before the stream is out, I need to get you yours because I have it saved. think this guy would make a really cool NPC. I don't know what kind of sorcerer he is. He doesn't necessarily have any particular sorcerer aesthetic going on yet. Alright, thank you for stopping in, and enjoy your lurking. We're just gonna continue on. I'm gonna chill. Very fun. A little bugbear sorcerer. Okay. Oh, that's right. We still have this. Let's see. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for stopping in. Wonderful. I've created the Chad. Oh, jeez. Just like that, 3 hours kind of flew by, huh? And I just made a bunch of goblins and a bugbear. And I probably haven't been talking too much either. I'm so sorry. Kind of just get into it a little bit. Let me switch to my browser capture. And let me do one. This is so cute. Thank you so much for this, by the way. I'm gonna just generate a character and see what I get. Loxodon. Path of the Berserker. Well, we just did a barbarian. Let's see. Grung? Isn't that like one of the fish? Grung Warlock? 1-year-old. Simic Scientist. Hold on. I need to look at what a grung is. Oh, it's like a frog. Let me... Birthplace, a brothel, tavern, or inn. Let me open this. Let me make a text. I can't paste, can I? Or is it pasting? Oh no, did I just paste it 3 times? I did! Yikes. It's so confused with me. Here, let me bring you back over here. Paste it once. Wait. That is so much text. I'll hold on to this one. I'm not super into it. Let me just make sure when I zoom in I can read. Okay. Well, at least I know these can work. So I'm going to hold off on that. Let's go back over here. Let's see if we find something that jumps out at me. Female half-orc wizard. $54. Parents died. Evocation wizard. Feels close to the bugbear sorcerer. I'm gonna try one more. And I also have a half-orc sorcerer, so... oh, okay. Genasi Bloodhunter. I have it activated to add in Bloodhunter. And Earth Genasi, 76. Male. I've never made an Earth Genasi. Let me see. High abilities, Constitution, hardy, healthy. Low abilities, intelligence. Okay. Bloodhunters are intelligence scaling now, so that's a little unfortunate for him. Skin type, covered in crystal. Okay. Okay. Blue eyes. Parents. One parent was a genie and the other was a human. Chaotic evil. Relationship hostile. Birth or older. Oh no, these are siblings, aren't they? Ugh. Has a chaotic evil brother. This is a very nice website. So here, I'm gonna play with this one. I only do it for the money. Evil. Bloodhunter. Earth Genasi. Okay. Let me bring some of this over. Stead Evenwood. Evenwood? My program is like, please, this is so much text. I'm sorry, computer. I'm gonna rasterize this text soon. Because it is laggy. And then I'll bring this back over. Okay. Let me just rasterize this. And then we'll start sketching him, and he'll probably be how we finish off the little bonus stream, because I gotta make sure that I have time to eat dinner and stuff. Rasterize that. Drop that. Okay. So we have 76, 198 pounds, 5'7", Earth Genasi, Bloodhunter. I'm going to quickly remind myself what Earth Genasi look like for my own sanity. Okay. Alright, and Bloodhunters, they can go up to medium armor, so why don't I do a little bit of armor? I'm just going to play this one fast and loose. So we're going to start, since I'm going to do this fast and loose, I'm actually going to start silhouette-wise, because I have an idea. I've got like a whole little story in my head kind of brewing. And I know it says he's covered in crystals, so I gotta try and remember to incorporate that. But I'm doing like armor. So maybe some like shoulder crystals, crystalline hair. Are you starting to see it come through, chat? Are you starting to see? Okay. Dylan draws too big syndrome. Make the head smaller immediately. And these are just to catch like the moods of characters, so I don't necessarily yeah, I know. I have an alarm set. This is my last sketch. I think I've been having fun. What have you been doing? Pretty proud of this for just sort of going for it. But I had a good warm-up today, so... Yeah, this is kind of fun. Just a really quick mood piece. Sometimes the blood hunter has to put down his comrade. That's sort of the story I'm going for in this quick little piece here. Let's look back at some of this. Flaw or secret, arrogance, interaction trait, rude. Well, then maybe he didn't feel bad. Expert dart thrower. Okay. So I can give him on his belt. Maybe some like throwing darts. What else we got? 76, right. He's pretty old. Cover his mouth. Skin color, deep brown skin type, covered in crystal. I like this guy. I have never made a Genasi, so maybe I will. This little mood piece just kind of got me in the, well, the mood to make one. Oh, I've been doing that on the wrong layer. That's fine. yeah, I like this guy. Just a quick little mood piece. And I believe his eyes are blue. Yeah, this is interesting. I like it. And this set deep red, so if I can deep brown. Cool. I think I'll do some more refined drawings of this guy in the future. Because he's pretty cool. Might become a paladin in the future instead of a blood hunter. Just maybe. I don't know. But I think that's gonna have to do it for this little stream. He says as he continues to work. I need to stop. I need to stop. I have to go eat. Thank you anyone who dropped in. This is a little bonus stream. Just kind of making some characters. Had fun with it. I'll definitely do it again, because I like some of the characters that I got out of this. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Who we got? Who have we made? I think I made like 3 or 4. And I can see that these are not going to want to merge nicely. Even when I group them. Which is strange. I might have a way around this. Hold on. Ah, it's because of all the white underneath him. I can fix that. I will fix this really quickly. And then I will... Yeah, because he's like transparent and stuff. Ooh. There we go. Now if I group these, they should be fine. Right? Wonderful. So we've got this Earth Genasi Blood Hunter, which is really cool. Just kind of bumped him out really quick. Might give him like a crystal beard and stuff in the future. We've got a lot of sketches getting this Goblin Barbarian. Definitely like the direction this went. The improvement just going from here, getting a kind of confirmed face from this body to that body is really, really great. So, development. We also have just this adorable Soul Knife Rogue who is psychic and doesn't know that he's psychic. Just because we got some fun shapes going for him. He's really, really funny. Wish I did more drawings of him. I'll have to in the future. And then we have... yes, we have our... Definitely a future NPC, high-level Clockwork Soul Bugbear. He's pretty cool. I need to redo the legs, though. I don't like how they look. I will figure out a way to make them a way that I like them. Because I don't think it's just that they're... I don't know. Everything is difficult. But that's probably going to be it for me. I think that's all the characters that we made. And I talked a lot in the beginning just sort of about the process. But I'll do this again because I had a lot of fun. And we'll refine some of these characters. Maybe actually roll some of their stats. What if I just delete the legs? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to, like, sign off and end this. But what if I just don't deal with legs currently? You know? I promise I'm ending so soon. I promise. I think he just needs to, yeah, I think he needs to stand up more straight. Yes. I'll just have to redo the legs. But, love that shape. Let me just organize my layers. And, I think we're good to go. Delete any extra layers. Put him down here. I'll save his legs. Hold on. This is what I do. I fuss. I fuss for so long. Put them in a folder. Close that. Don't need these. Don't need that. Put that at the bottom. And a blank canvas to begin on our next project next time I do a stream. Which is tomorrow, my regular 3 o'clock stream tomorrow. So this one is going to go on YouTube immediately. And I will see all of you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the stream now. So you all have a good night. Stretch, drink something, eat something, wash your face, take a shower. I'll see you next time. Bye.